came to California in 1995, primarily to do lighting retrofits for military bases. In 1998, I went out on my own, again, back in the lighting retrofit business, which is energy related. In 2003, the energy retrofit business had softened, so we made a major turn towards solar.
So I studied electrical engineering in college, and I minored in physics. And when I was there, I thought I was going to get into research and development and try to build a better solar cell. And I did that. My first job out of school was to work in an R&D lab, making solar cells, processing silicon wafers into solar cells. It's a little boring, I guess. It was, I worked in the solar industry, but I never saw the sun. I was in a lab all day. So I switched into system design, and I've been doing it ever since.
I was working at Home Depot corporate at the time in the marketing department when a lot of the solar stuff was just starting. At that time, Enron was charging a lot of money for electricity, if you remember back in those days. And I was able to convince Home Depot that there was a market for solar panels through the Home Depot store. And so we were able to actually launch the first stores, the Home Depot Solar Program, which is now a national program in 800 stores. But we started right here in San Diego with 3 stores, the Sports Arena store, the Escondido store, and the Carmel Mountain store.
I met my partners in about 2003, and they were working for another solar energy contractor. They had prior experience in solar, working for manufacturers and also on the sales side. So we put together a business plan to go out on our own and roll it into what was TMAG Industries at the time.
Well, in the early days of the solar business, everybody did everything pretty much, although the main job was customer contact, because in this business, that's sort of where everything starts. Right now, I provide strategic direction for the company in terms of what the industry is doing, as well as commercial sales, which is a little more involved, and also supporting marketing and some of the marketing ideas for the company.
I've assisted in the sales process, design, permitting, installation, maintenance. Being an electrical engineer and electrician, I find that I'm kind of, people are often seeking my advice on technical nature questions here.
We've had a couple big breaks as a company. We came into this with a relationship with Home Depot. My partner Mike had initiated that program before I met him, and we were able to exploit that and take over about 15 to 18 stores in the San Diego and Riverside area. Second break came in about 2005 or 6 when we scored a big deal with Conergy. They claim it was the first megawatt commercial industrial project in California. It was about 6,700 panels spread over 5 buildings for a big Bing cherry and kiwi farm up in Hanford, California. I'd say that was a big break for us because Conergy was a company out of Germany making a big splash over here in the US. We did a great job for them, and then they started opening doors for us. We did wineries for them, Safeway stores, city projects, all kinds of projects. So I'd say that's probably one of the biggest turning points we had as a company, put us on the map. So after that, Conergy made a little pullback in the market, and we had established good relationships with both manufacturers and with some finance companies. They took us into projects such as U.S. Food Service, which we've done several locations for, Salk Institute. Some of these relationships just started to grow roots and continue to grow.
I kind of like the high-profile clients. So we've done jobs for the U.S. Navy. We've done projects for the City of San Diego, for the City of Anaheim, for the City of Tustin, the Salk Institute, definitely. So I think the projects I'm most proud of are the more high-profile clients that we've done.
So the Home Depot program was a great thing for us. We didn't have much of a brand. We were just Stellar Solar. We did a good job. We got more work. We were out selling Home Depot solar, basically. When that went away, Solar City came and kind of took it away from everybody that was involved in it. And that's when we turned towards SunPower and really started working our own Stellar Solar brand locally and selling SunPower and a few other products.
Purdy Tree Farm at the Del Mar Fairgrounds is partnering with Stellar Solar. Stellar Solar brought in large panels that charge in the sun and then provide electricity for lights and electrical chainsaws used on the lot. The company says this gives customers an idea of how solar power works.
Peak power on this is 6,000 watts. This is actually about the same size as a small home would use. One of the reasons we do this is to give people the ability to just see these things face to face. I think we've seen several tipping points in the industry. Things would sort of expand and then contract a little bit and then expand again, and we've sort of gone through that. That's why we say it's a solar coaster. In all the years we've been doing this, I don't think any 2 years in a row have been exactly identical. Whatever we did last year isn't necessarily going to work this year.
Yeah, the industry is constantly changing, and to keep up with it is a real challenge, and you have to kind of keep yourself on the cutting edge of what's happening, what's changing as far as policy, as far as code, and it's sort of a moving target. It always has been a moving target for us in this industry.
Yeah, there's a thing in this industry called the solar coaster, and basically there's always drama in this industry. There's rebates, and then there's tax credits, and then they go away, and there's false deadlines, and the utilities have deadlines, and companies come and go.
We're already seeing an increased rate hike. Have you been getting more calls because of this, and how can you help us in this situation?
Yeah, ever since they sent out the letter saying the rates are going to go up, and then you get a fairly warm September, and they get their bills now in October, the phones have been ringing off the hook. Not only did they get a rate increase of 20 to 40%, depending where you're at and for different reasons, they're hitting it at the time of year when they use more.
Like I say, it's been a hot industry. You talk to anybody and they're like, "Oh, you're in solar," they get real excited. You know what? We're excited too, but it's not just because everybody knows about solar doesn't mean it's always good.
Yeah, our guys work hard every day, all day, in the field, in the office, even our sales team. There's nothing easy about this business, but we try to have a lot of fun. We sponsor the Green Flash concert, so it always seems like there'd be a couple different groups from work going there. We try to always have some fun along the way. Well, when we started, we had this funky little office in Encinitas, and our marketing guy put together the surfboard brigade for the Encinitas Christmas parade. First one, I don't know, we probably had 40 plus people marched in it, a lot. And it's basically marched to a drum line. It was fun because we brought a lot of people together. The parade's not that long, but the hangout before and after was. Then we found the American Legion, had our first Christmas party there. But our first Christmas party, I've been told by several people, even though we've had bigger ones since, the first party was the best, and we may go back there next year.
Well, after 20 years in business, you learn a lot of stuff. We've made every mistake under the sun, and we've installed lots of products, and SunPower has always been there. They have the best product on the market, and they had a new program called the Master Dealer Program, and we thought it looked good. We wanted to focus our business like we did many years ago, focusing on just selling solar. We wanted to focus our business on just selling SunPower. So we made the move in October of 2016 to become a master dealer, and we've never looked back. Again, there's always drama in the industry. Doesn't mean I think the industry's going bad. Solar's going to be strong in San Diego for a lot of time. We have somewhere over 100,000 systems installed in San Diego. There's a lot of service work to be done over the years, and there's a lot more systems to be sold. I think we got to credit as fact is we try really hard. We've always done great work. Never perfect, but I think people like our attitude. We get the job done.